Welcome back to Bloomsburg for the four-wheel Jamboree Summer Nationals as we return to competition in the mud pit. Some show and shine vehicles there on display. And there is a look at, once again, Tom Meents minus the wing in the second Mud Patrol. And he will take on another familiar face in Mike Yosha.
You talked earlier about there being 3 Mud Patrols here. Well, Mike Yosha's car is an old Mud Patrol. You're going to see a real fast run here. There's no love lost between these two guys. And Yosha would love nothing better to put Meeks on the trailer to bump him with the number. 3:05 is a quick time right now. I think Meeks will go quicker this time without the wing. That's just my guess. Let's wait and see. And Yosha, I guarantee, is going to push him out the other end.
Well, the time to beat's a 3:05.9. This could be the best matchup of the afternoon here in Bloomsburg.
Yeah, there's no love lost between these two guys. Both vehicles are almost identical. A lot of wheel speed combinations, both of them. You're going to rock and roll. Bob Seeger says, we'll rock and roll you, and they did, Gary. Look at this.
Excellent ride for both drivers, but look at Tom Meents. A 3.057. That will put him atop the leaderboard.
Yeah, but check Yoshi out. He turns a good number, 3:078. He was right there with him.
That's good for third on the leaderboard. There's Tom Meents' time, then Al Ash, Mike, Tom Marsh, and Tom Meents. Let's go back trackside, Army.
Tom, a 3:05. That puts you number 1. As a matter of fact, that keeps you in the top 5 with both vehicles.
That's great. The track's really soupy out there. I got about halfway down. I couldn't see anything, so I just flipped it up and went on. There was a while there I didn't know where I was going.
That's got to be some of the wildest 2 and 3 seconds of racing in the world, especially with the amount of speed and everything, and then the fact you can't see.
I think, the times may not reflect how well you're going because you don't get off the line as good, but once you get going, you're definitely humming.
We had over 70 vehicles here in Pennsylvania this weekend, so let's go back and show you some highlights from earlier in the competition. Sean Kravitsky, a wild ride here.
His vehicle's named 40 cases later. You tell a buddies help him out on that one.
Well, here's a look back now at Shane Back and Brian Harrell. Harrell the near lane, Shane Back the far lane. Very soupy conditions here, but they all have the same mud to contend with. And after this run here, we had a chance to talk to Brian Harrell about track conditions.
That top's just like glass. That water is just making us, we're spinning and it's just, hydroplaning us, just like we're walking on water.
Well, Dan Brown in Mind Games also found the going rough. He gets in trouble right off the start and just drives her down the side of that lane. Now back to racing, where Tom Martin must now contend with that far lane, which has been a good lane so far. Tom Meents has posted the quick number in that left lane. And as we take a look at Tom Martin in the Mud Patrol, and there is Sally Bagdonis out of Connecticut, the Lady Predator.
Part of a family team. Her husband drives a vehicle that goes by the name of the Predator. What you're going to get a chance to see here, Gary, is the far lane is your traveling pro. This guy goes all over the country. The near lane, we talked about the regional racer. This is where they step up and run side by side. This might be a good parallel to show you what it's all about. George Cash, the starter, waits for both of them to go into the lights.
Ducks. Oh, a good run. Boy, Martin laid down a 3:14.
Man, he had that sucker humming on the big end.
The Lady Predator, not such a great run for Sally at 4.496, but Tom Martin laid down a great ride as we take a look once again. Martin coming right at you in another Mud Patrol.
Boy, he had a ton of overdrive on that blower. You could hear that sucker whistling on the big end.
And he slams her down in the shutdown area, and let's go trackside and talk to Tom.
Tom, a 3.14, but it looked to me like there's nothing to stick on the starting line. You had to get down the track before you could plant the horsepower.
Yeah, I think I misguessed on the starting line. It was a little better than I thought. I kind of detuned the motor for this run, and it didn't turn to RPM, so that's why we ran a little slow, but I'm happy with the car handled good.
Another task of mud racing is cleaning up the car after the run. And now we're ready for competition to continue with the S-Kicker. Here's a real wild man, Army. This is Jeremy Finley.
Smiling Jeremy Finley out of West Virginia. This guy would tap dance in a minefield. I'm telling you, he has a philosophy about him. He just goes hard. That's all you can say about him. Same basic setup that the other guys have, except he's cut the top off his 32 Vicky. Who's he going to be going up against?
Well, there's Bill Bibas out of New Jersey, the Hillside Scrambler. Scrambler in the far lane. Jeremy in the near lane.
Bibas is giving away a whole lot of weight right there as Jeremy moves in. This vehicle is almost identical to the 2 Mud Patrols we saw, with the exception they cut the top off. I asked him why. He said, I want to be able to see where I'm going, especially at Bloomsburg. Back to our start.
Nobody can see where they're going today.
Oh, but he went there quick, even if he couldn't see. He's coming across.
Hang on, though. He's off in the other man's shutdown area. A 3.104 for Jeremy. He's taking a shortcut back to the pit area. Wow. He took a real shortcut right across the lane of Bill's. Bill's time of 4.109.
Left turn, Clyde, when he came out of the pit.
Another look coming right at you. Good run, but he had some trouble in the shutdown area. And right there, he's in trouble. Sawing on the steering wheel, climbs on the brakes, gets her woed without getting in too much trouble, despite the fact he's in the wrong shutdown area. Let's go back trackside, Army.
Jeremy, a 3.104 showing the track will hold the horsepower, but what did you find out there other people can't find?
I don't know. I guess I just got lucky. Pit's pretty bad shape right now. I don't think it's going to get no better, that's for sure.
Think that'll keep you in the top 5?
I'd say. It'll have to, probably, if the pit's bad.
You can see how bad the pit is from that shot right there as he has really bounced around. As we go back now to the starting line, Tony Pasillo in Fortified. There is Fortified in the near lane. And for Botnick, Dave for Botnick and Lou Screw over there in the far lane.
Both lead real good for Botnick. Good run. He throws some mud against the wall. It doesn't stick, though. He only goes at 332. You got to go at 3.0 to be a player today, Gary.
Yeah, you got to have one superb run to be at the top of the leaderboard of 4.101 in the near lane. So as the competition continues, we'll take this break and return with more action from Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania on Trucks and Tractor Power. The four-wheel jamborees feature a host of activities for the entire family. Pick up the latest in aftermarket products while visiting the manufacturer's Midway. And check out how the Chrome and Candy Apple come together at the Show and Shine competition. To find out more about the Special Events Performance Series, call or write the address on your screen. This weekend, we are in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. It's a sunny, humid day as we prepare for our final 2 competitors. And that will be Gary Funk right there in Sweet Thunder.
Now, Gary Funk runs a nitrous-assisted vehicle trying to make more horsepower with the Sweet Thunder. He's out of Pennsylvania. He'll be in the far lane. Ben Nievenhuis comes out of Ontario, making an international event with the Hellraiser. So he came over the Canadian border to try to take back some of these
American dollars.
Yankee dollars, yeah.
Well, he, of course, has the fiberglass Jeep body.
Well, both of them actually run a fiberglass replica of the Jeep body. After a long day of racing, it comes down to the final run. We got a big fire!
Fire in that far lane. Gary Funk in Sweet Thunder, and you can see the engine fire. Okay. Right now, the driver is okay, and he's really taking his time getting out. He is really not in any kind of peril right now.
Well, the drivers wear the full Simpson safety gloves and helmets and so on and so forth. So he knew the fire was contained to the front of the vehicle. I think I still would have been getting out, though, with the fire has a tendency to blow back on you.
Here is a look again. Now watch as he activates the nitrous. He blows it up right there. He drives the shutdown area, stops the vehicle, but makes no effort to climb out.
When he hit the nitrous button, it's like hitting an igniter, literally. Meanwhile, Gary has another problem at the end of the track. He's sitting in the middle, and the fire crews, they're having a water fight across him in the middle.
That's enough.
Hey,
that's
stop,
enough
stop.
Water. Well, as we clean that mess up, here's some more highlights. Bob Heisner in Hot Tuna turned to 3.243.
He had that little 48 Fiat humming on a big end.
And here's Bill Shifley over the top, taking on Roger Laney in the Paddy Wagon. Paddy Wagon got in trouble here.
Shockley with a long wheelbase seems to be okay. Paddy Wagon climbs the berm on the left side of the track. Whoa.
Bring out the tow rig. One of the strongest Fords in the country, Midnight Magic Dave Bray, not quick enough at 3:37 to make the top 5. Let's go back now and check in with Gary Funk, the aftermath of the fire.
What caused it to ignite like that?
I hit the second stage nitrous button. I think that's when it ignited.
Could you tell you were in trouble as soon as you hit the button?
Yeah.